Hello?
Mr. Carroll Watts?
Yeah.
This is Larry Moyers. I'm from Akron, calling from Akron, and I'm with the Flying Saucer Investigating Committee here. I suppose you've had your share of this kind of call, haven't you?
Oh, I've had quite a bit, yeah, I have.
So we were real interested in your story because the Cleveland Plain dealer carried one account, and then the Beacon Journal carried another account.
Yeah.
And I was quite interested. Have you a few minutes to share with us here?
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a few minutes about it.
All right. Would you tell me when the original story occurred?
I'd like to explain something to you. I don't know what you've heard or what you've read, but for the safety benefit of my family, we've labeled it a hoax, and intend to stay with it unless an official investigation comes out and states otherwise, and I've given some type of.
And we are certainly not labeling anything hoaxes as such, you know, because we've had too much experience with the whole relationship of UFOs and close contact.
Yeah.
But would you briefly just tell me what the whole background story is?
Well, back in February, I saw some type of object at a distance, and it was kind of foggy that day. The humidity is high. One thing that caught my attention is high altitude didn't have any wings on it, and it was traveling fast. However, I was on a tractor, and of course it was running, and I don't know whether there's any sound to it or not. And a little later on, March the 21st, I was measuring the cotton field, pre-measuring field, and I seen an object of some type coming from south east, going northwest, traveling roughly 50 miles per hour, maybe something like 200 feet off the ground. It looked like it was about 100 feet long, shaped like a cylinder, round like a cylinder. And the front come out to a blunt point. The color was dark gray. And approximately, let's see, on March the 31st, I run up on a similar type object in a road here close to the house. And I was under the impression that it was a bunch of Air Force personnel working on some type of experimental equipment. Of course, I was determined to sit there in the road, and I was raised right here in this same area, and I thought, well, the fellow could get into it while these Air Force personnel be sitting there working. However, it wasn't. I didn't see anybody. I talked to something, or I talked to somebody or something, or some type of machine for roughly 5 minutes. And when I went back and got picked up, pulled around it, it was similar looking object to the same thing that I had seen previously on March the 21st. And on April the 11th, on this March 31st, the Air Force came over and made an investigation. Several law personnel made an investigation, and none of them would tell me, the Air Force, anybody, what it was.
Well, now, did Mr. Heineck talk with you personally?
He didn't see him, no,
Yeah.
He didn't see him. They wouldn't tell me what it was. So it was still around in the area on April the 11th. I got on a small one and was transferred to another one, given a physical to put back in this little one, and let back up in the back picture. That's just a short rundown. It's a long, drawn-out prayer.
Yeah, well, now, were you actually in space?
The only answer I could give that was change in the atmosphere, and there was definite proof. Now, how there wasn't any windows, I couldn't see out of either one of them.
Well, now, how did you make the transfer between objects?
It was done through some type of a metal
What, in the lie detector testing, what actually altered your story?
Well, I was going through the process of trying to get some permanent evaluation before anything was released.
Yeah.
And Heine talked to me back right after Thanksgiving, and discussed the matter. He discussed it, I guess, roughly an hour or something like that. And he wanted to see the pictures that I had taken. Well, I sent, I believe, 5 or 6 up there, and he took 5 or 6 weeks, something like that, to run some type of analysis. During that time, there was a small newspaper, or I say a small, it was a large newspaper at Amarillo. They got wind of little about what was going on, and they come down here, snooping around, and went back up there and pretty much found out. Well, when they come out here and talk to me, I told them I wouldn't tell them anything until I got some type of permanent evaluation. And I was trying to go through Professor Heine and get some type of evaluation. Well, they called Professor Heine and insisted on some type of evaluation. And of course, he wouldn't give me anything, amount to anything. And he sent the Associated Press and the Houston Post up here right after that, about a week, 10 days, something like that. After that, to conduct an investigation to gather up all the information, send it to him, let him evaluate it. They gathered up all the information. We'd like to photograph test, and we'd like to send the pictures to the Polaroid Corporation for a permanent evaluation. And the Polaroid, the photograph test had been trying to get set up for 3 or 4 days. And we had it set up for 5 o'clock Monday afternoon. Well, the Associated Press and the United Press is in, well, they just fight tooth and nail practically. And the United Press got wind of a little about what was going on and come up here and went out with a short story to undercut the Associated Press. Well, they wanted to speed it up then to 11 o'clock, let's see, 11 o'clock Sunday, if we could make it. And I agreed. Let's see, it was about 9 o'clock Saturday night. I got a threatening phone call that stated that if I went through a photograph test, my family would be in great danger. However, I didn't know what, maybe as a kid, a prank, something like that. And I didn't think too much about it. And about 10 o'clock, they called me and told me we had it set up for 11 o'clock Sunday morning in Amarillo, which is roughly 125 miles from here, something like that. So I got up early and left about 7:30, and I had went 35, 40 miles, something like that, and didn't know whether that had any effect on it or not. But he did indicate that some of the questions that he asked that I lied. It shows that I lied about some of the questions that he knew that I didn't, such as the can you drive an automobile?
Now, did you tell them ahead of the test the experience you had on the way up there?
No, I didn't. I figured if I told them, they'd splash it across the front page, and I never hear the end of it.
Well, now, how did the story finally break then?
Well, this Wynn, he was the examiner, and he came out on TV, gave a short statement, and then, of course, the Associated Press was sitting out there, the Associated Press and the Houston Post and the Globe and Maryland News was sitting out there listening to what we was discussing, supposed to have been discussing privately, and they wrote it all down and printed it.
Well, now, of course, you didn't reveal at that time, did you, the fact that you'd been stopped on the road?
No, I didn't. Sure didn't.
But then how did they get hold of that part of it?
Well, I came back home, and as soon as I got home, I called the police department and reported to them what had happened to me, and if anything happened to me, that then they would know that somebody would know something about it other than me. And about, let's see, 9:30, 10 o'clock, somewhere along in that area that night, Sunday night, I have 3 watchdogs, and they started barking. Well, they barked 15, 20 minutes before I thought anything about it. Then I got up, went outside to see what they was barking at, and there's a highway here in front of my house, Farm Market Road, and there's a car set down from the house 400 or 500 yards. I could just see the black outline and just sit there. No light. So after what happened that morning, I come back in the house and got a gun, went back outside, got behind the storm shelter. And in a little bit, while this car came on by the house, running slow, and no light, went on up somewhere, turned around, and come back by. Still no light. I got approximately the corner of the house, and they fired 3 shots. Well, I started shooting at them. I don't know how many times they shot back, or whether they shoot at me or what. But I shot back. And then, after that happened, I just went ahead and told what had happened.
Oh, I see. Now, did you have any bullets that had lodged anywhere near you?
No. We couldn't find any bullets that hit around close. We found where the law personnel found where the car turned around. But we didn't find any place where they hit around close to me.
And you don't have any evidence that you hit them either?
No.
This certainly is an interesting story. Have you had any threats on yourself since that period?
They are conducting an official investigation out of this, and I was talking to one of the investigators yesterday, and I talked to policeman at Amarillo, and I guess it was about an hour after that, something like that, I got a phone call warning me not to get it stirred up again. However, it's out of my hands. The official investigation has began, and they'll continue. Go right ahead and continue.
Yes, now, who does this involve? The FBI?
No, the University of Colorado.
Oh, I see. They're in on it. Dr. Condon.
Yeah. There were 3 investigators down here Monday morning, and they went around over there. I don't know what all they done, but they are definitely interested, and the pictures have been sent to the University of Colorado. And, of course, I don't know what all they're going to do. They told me they'd come up with something probably about 6 weeks, something like that.
Now, have you made copies of the photos?
No,
Oh, this is unfortunate. I think you should have. Because
Well,
now you don't have anything at all, do you?
No, I have a certified mail, you know, I'll have certified slip as where they receive.
And they promised to send them back to you?
Yeah.
Well, I would assume the university will keep their word on that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been quite so sure if other agencies had gotten it, but I think they would.
Yeah. Well, they seem to look at it with open mind, or these three investigators did, and commented to me several times that it had happened before, that people had been threatened, and the safety of the family was involved in going to get the whole thing.
Do you know who the people were from the university?
Let me see here. Let's see. The one that was this year by conduct is Captain Robert Moss.
Oh, yes?
Post Office Box 1, also.
I've heard this name before. Yes.
And another one, let's see, Bill Corder.
Well, I'm not acquainted with him.
He is the, let's see, he is the private detective of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh?
And James H. Hartley, Special Sheriff Deputy, Field and Investigation Team Coordinator.
And these men were sent in from Dr. Condon?
Yeah,
Have we missed anything that you think would be of special interest here in the experience you had while aboard the craft?
Well, I was on that thing roughly an hour and a half. It would tell actually what happened. It would be pretty long. I'll tell you just a short rundown of what happened.
If you would, please.
They was on March the 31st, whatever or whoever I talked to in that object wanted more or less for me to take some type of picture. And on the April 11th, I was in a pickup pulled into a road going up to a vacant farmhouse. And pickup died. The area around the pickup started lighting up. However, it was lightning that night, and I didn't pay much attention to it. But I learned to started with work. Well, I had seen some lights just about that time in the rearview mirror, and I stepped out of the pickup, turned around, faced back, and there was a craft about 30 feet long, 15 feet high, shaped similar to an egg, except it was flatter on the bottom than it was top. It had some type of bubble or plastic deal on top of it, and the door was open. Two men were standing on the step. Two men were standing looking out the door. And one of them said, let's go and let you take your physical examination. Well, I had two choices. I could either get on it or I could take out across this cloud field foot. And previously, there had already been some cars chased in the area at high speed by something. And I didn't get through it. And as we went through the other side, I turned right. Well, I looked to the left as I turned right, and I seen 4 rats of some type of weapon. There's roughly, there's roughly 30 inches in length, stock about 12 inches. The barrel was probably a half across. There was a large disc, 3 large discs, roughly 5 inches around, and they were probably a half thick and a half apart. Starting approximately there were a breach of shot space, for instance, shotgun wood. And there was a bunch of these round discs in a pigeonhole like those time of discs used to be, with a rod through the center, opposite these racks. We turned right there and went all 4 or 5 feet, something like that, and there was partition. Oh, and in this partition there's opening there for a door, but I didn't see a door there. And this fellow that was in front stopped and told me to go in the next compartment, and most brought me to. And when I stepped in there, it looked like approximately the same type of room that I had seen previously through the door of that object on March 31st. Just inside the door, there's 2 men, and they came over to me and explained to me that they were conducting a survey and would appreciate it if I could cooperate and let them give me a physical examination.
They spoke to you in English?
Yes, And at that time, I didn't have any choice. So we went on down to approximately the center of the room, and there was a machine down there. They had me to undress, stand in front of this machine, which was approximately 6 feet high and 36 inches wide. And they had me just completely undressed, pushed me up completely against this machine, which was cupped in the front. And there was a large throw switch on the left-hand side, up about 4 or 5 feet, something like that. And they pulled it down, and there's 2 lights come on. It's roughly a half foot, 6 inches, something like that from the top. And there was a narrow band of glass or plastic between them. There's a knob on the right-hand side, roughly 3 feet from the bottom, that he turned until these 2 lines went together in the center. And when they went together in the center, there was long, flexible, hypodermic type needle came out of this machine. And instead of coming out and penetrating into the skin, it came out and laid down against the skin. And one about every inch. Well, during all this process, the other man, the one that seemed to be in control, was down at the other end of the machine. This machine either was, well, the top of it was used down. Instead of being 6 feet high, it was used down to about 4, and it extended on out to about 8 feet. And out of the end, where it was about 4 feet high, there's a piece of paper coming out of it about 18 inches wide. And the one that seems to be in control, just every few minutes, he'd walk down, look at that paper, then he'd walk back, look at me, just back and forth all the time. And they had me stand in front of it about 5 minutes. Then they had me to turn around and push me back against it, and then it got all I can tell now is you're 8 pounds overweight. Well, they told me to get dressed, and these 2 men went back to the other compartment where the other 4 men had stayed or was, I don't know which. But I got dressed and looked around in that room. And right in front of the room, there was a desk, chair behind it, and the mounts on top of the desk, roughly a yard squared. One mount off the charts and directly in front of the desk. And on the right-hand corner of the desk, there was a pencil in a closed clear-like container and some papers with writing, some type of writing on it with paperweight, several kinds of paperweight laying on top of the papers. Well, I couldn't read any of the writing at all. And the paperweight had some type of engraving or insignia on it. And it's about 2 by 3 squares. And it's about 3 inches thick. And I picked it up and looked to see if the men in the other compartment were looking in my direction or could see maybe from the side and see into the compartment and look at me to see what I was doing. I couldn't see but 4 of them through that opening, but I made sure that they couldn't see me. And I picked the paperweight up and put it on the inside part of my pants pocket. I put it between the billfold and the inside part of the pocket. And stood there just a short time. And one of the men that had taken me in that up there in that short crowd, he walked in the room